Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Trackies, one of the athletes that we have been waiting to see. He's given us a little touch, a little prips, and he has made us so excited this season. I'm talking about Oblique Seville. We'll be stepping out this weekend, the 18th of May, trackies, for another amazing run. This time, trackies, he takes to the 200 meters, and I'm very much excited for that because you don't know, I've been talking it up. I said from that first initial 200-meter run, Oblique Seville, double trouble, and it seems to be something that is coming to pass. Oblique Seville, watch out for him because he will be trouble in both the 200 meters and the 100 meters. So this weekend, he lines up, as I said, over the 200 meters at the Atlanta City Games. Now, this is an Adidas made track, is where they pretty much construct a track in the middle of the city, I suppose, and have the athletes run on that particular track. Now, for me personally, I'm no fan of the track because it seems to be a little bit on the bumpy side, and the athletes always seem to be not able to execute their best race on this particular track. So, with that said, I'm, praying that all the athletes that will be competing here, come out injury free from competing at this particular meet. Also, this particular 200 meters, just a quick note, will also be done on the straight. So, unfortunately, it will not count to a personal best because, yes, we're expecting a fast time from Oblique Sibyl, but it will not count as a personal best because it will be done on the straight. Now, in my opinion, though, when it comes to running on the straight, I do believe that the times are slower than running on the curve because the curve kind of, whips you into the straight instead of just running, down a full 200-meter straight. So again, Chuckies, keep these things in mind when you're watching this particular games. That one, this is going to be a constructed track, so it may be a bit on the uneven side, and two, it's going to be done on the straight, so the performances may not be as good as they could be if they were done on a normal track that we're used to. And I don't know to this day why Adidas still refuses to just keep this meeting on a regular track, because it can happen. But I guess it's because they run a lot of 150s here as well as part of this particular meeting. But with that said, track is it is what it is. So we move. Again, as I said, I'm excited for this particular 200 meters because on the back of Oblique Seville's performance, and I'm going to get into that performance, he had run a world lead at the time, and this was done in March, the middle of March. He ran at 20.17 seconds, and it was a world lead. And at that particular moment, he did indicate that he doesn't know if he'll be running any more 200s. And I said, Oblique Seville, based on the time of the season, how you look, you're clearly very much heavy, very much loaded. You are going to be running more 200 meters because that 200-meter performance was very, very impressive, especially when you took into considerations the likes of, Zarnell Hughes also competing at this same event that he ran at in March, and he was nowhere close to Oblique Seville in terms of time clocked at this meet, right, Chucky? So when you take all these things into consideration, I said, Oblique Seville, one, you're going to be running more 200s too, and you will potentially double, at our national championships and represent Team Jamaica as well on the biggest stage in Paris doing the 100 meters and the 200 meters trackies. And it seems as though slowly but surely these things are amazingly coming to pass. So Oblique Seville on the back of that 20.17 done back in March is out again, this time to run a 200 meters on the straight. And we're expecting, yes, a sub 20 from him. Now, this is going to be a sub 20 on the straight. Now, I do believe that by the time, he rounds into his best shape, hopefully by the time we get to the trials and then, the Olympic Games, Oblique Seville will be close to, as I said, I believe he can run a 19.7/19.6. That's actually, what I think we can get from him this season. You know what I mean? This season from Oblique Seville, amazingly out of the 200 meters. So he lines up against his fellow countryman Antonio Watson in the starting lineup, as well as Stephen Gardner, as well as Wade Van Niekerk and Jerry Richards. Now, these are a lot of 400-meter guys, or only 400-meter guys, you can, pretty much say, former world champions and Olympic champions, as well as world record holders over various events. I'm talking about, the four, the three. Yeah, these are some quality guys in the lineup that he'll be facing off against. But personally, based on Oblique Sibyl's just 100-meter pure foot speed, as well as this new strength that he's developed over the 200 meters, as well as taking into consideration what these athletes have run so far in their four and any other distance that they've competed in the season. I believe Oblique Seville definitely wins this race handily. Right, track is again running an impressive time. I believe he's going, sub 20 in this particular race. It'll be interesting to see how far in he dips into that sub 20, because on the back of that, then we can, start to again set our expectations based on what we are thinking he'll possibly be able to do at our national championships. And of course, Antonio Watson has come out this season, run a few twos and a few fours. He's definitely been getting faster and faster each time he's raced. So in this run, I'm also expecting him to give a good account of himself. And I have him challenging the likes of Stephen Gardner as well for that potential second place in this particular race. That's what I'm foreseeing here for an Antonio Watson. So we may see Oblique Seville take the win here. And well, not me. Oblique Seville is taking the win here. Track is hands down. Now, second place in my mind will be up to Antonio Watson and Steve Gardner. Though I don't know if Antonio has ever performed on this, makeshift track. So we have to take this into consideration as well if he'll be able to perform, at optimum performance, because he's not used to running on this, constructed track in the middle of the city. So keeping that in mind, if he doesn't perform how I think he'll perform, in the back of my mind, it's probably because again he's not used to running that on that particular surface. But with that said, I still do have him challenging, for second between himself and Stephen Gardner in this particular race. And I believe that Jerry Richardson and Wade Veronica will be someplace, behind top three. So those are my top three. My top three will be Oblique Seville, and of course, as I said, Antonio Watson and Stephen Gardner will be battling it out for second. I believe maybe based on where Stephen Gardner is right now, he may, pip Antonio Watson in this particular race. But guess what? Antonio Watson has been looking better and better each time he comes out. So he may come out and spring a surprise for sure in this particular race and get that second. But it's going to be a tough second between him, as I said, and Stephen Gardner. But yes, Track is Oblique Seville, as I said, is the man to watch in this particular 200-meter race. Now, what do you guys think will be the outcome at the end of the day in this race? Will we see him running sub 20? And how far in sub 20 are you thinking? And based on this performance as well, are you thinking that Oblique Seville will be heading to our national championships and do that all important double? Right now, we're not really seeing any type of athlete right now anywhere that is giving us any kind of 200-meter hint that Jamaica will have, a men's solid 200-meter team heading to Paris. I believe that once Oblique Seville is part of the conversation, he'll definitely be able to represent Team Jamaica in Paris. Do you think he'll be able to take on the double? Do you think he will take on the double at the national championships? I certainly think so. Let me know your thoughts, as I said, in the comment section below. What do you think about Antonio Watson? Where do you think he will place in this race as well as the other athletes? Like the video, of course, Sharkies, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.